Last month we started looking at the Sermon on the Mount, and that's going to be our theme this month of June. And we talked about absolute truth and then the humanistic viewpoint. Does everybody remember? How do we take that high truth and move it into a life of human existence? So if you missed it, you should check it out on YouTube. It's worth a listen. All right. I just want to remind you, this is Jesus' time when he is beginning his message full on with his people. He has had his disciples. They've been walking with him, training with him. So right before he goes to deliver Sermon on the Mount, based on what we understand and have, he tells his disciples, you are the Christ, you are the pillars. He talks to them at a very high level of who they are. Do y'all remember that from last week? Okay, so he's bringing it to them. He's talking to them like they are God's children. He's not talking to them like they are human beings. So now we're going to the masses. Now we're going to the people. And so the first thing that he opens up with is the Beattitudes. And I know they're familiar in our Christendom. I know that you've heard them at some point or another. If there ever is a movie made of Jesus, they always have the Beatitudes in it, because it's an important foundational concept that takes us to the basis of his message. So I want you to realize what he does with the Beatitudes. He begins with blessed are. Y'all remember? Blessed are. So I'll read you one. In the Aquarian, we use the word worthy. Worthy are the strong in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Worthy are the meek, for they shall possess the land. Blessed are the meek, they shall possess the land. You've heard that a million times. I want you to hear what he's leading with. He's leading with affirmations that you are good. Blessed are you. Blessed are you. Not you're wrong, not you're bad, not you need to change. So this is an entirely different concept than what they're used to hearing from their religion. Their religion is all about obedience because they have erred. You have to sacrifice this, and you have to sacrifice that. For being human, you sacrifice. Do you all realize that? If you have a child, you have to sacrifice. If you have bodily things, you have to sacrifice. Everything is about doing something for the church that makes you acceptable to God. Because in and of yourself, you are not. So he broaches these people with, no, blessed are you. No matter where you are in your world, you're good. You're good. So don't be looking at where you are as negative. Let's look at it as good. And that's how he leads with them. You are blessed in all of the circumstances that you find yourself. And you are not wrong. And Jesus said, listen to what I'm going to tell you. If you do these things, good will come of it, right where you are. You don't need to change where you are. In where you are, good can come of it. Do you see? So it's a very positive thing to their spirits. He's actually telling their spirits, you are empowered to do better. You're empowered to be better. So he's calling forth their value. So God is absolute, and you are the creators. What if he had led with that? God is absolute good, guys, and you're the creators. They would have said, what do we do with that? What do I do with this idea? I have no idea what to do with this. God is absolute good and I'm a creator. Okay. He couldn't lead with that, could he? All right. This is what Spirit said, and I think this is really, really valuable for us. Jesus spoke in statements of truth wrapped in the conditions of their lives. He spoke in statements of truth wrapped in the conditions of their lives. And how else can we hear it, really? So, when he said to the group, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Every person in that crowd knew what a meek person was. A meek person was a good worker, a hard worker, someone who had no means, wasn't wealthy, but was a good, hard person you could count on. That was the meek. And blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Everybody in the crowd knew they'd seen that happen. And they all went, I've seen that happen before. Not often, but it has happened. And this is what would happen in their world. When a wealthy man would die with no heir, it would go to a meek person. And they would inherit the wealth of the man that died. Because they had demonstrated they were capable of doing it. So they'd seen that happen in their world. And they all went, yeah, I saw that happen once. He's right. There was truth in what he was saying to them at one level. And yet energetically, a meek person is a hardworking person who owns his work. If you own your work, what is the byproduct of that? You will eventually own. So metaphysically, we know, of course, he's owning his work, he's owning his energy, he's going to eventually own. Because that's the law. So even though they might have heard it at one level, which was their circumstances of life, it was true at every level. To original cause. Do you guys see that? It was true all the way to original cause. All right. So, he makes them right in their conditions. He tells them, blessed are you if you do this. I'll just share a couple with you. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for right, for they shall be satisfied. If you hunger and thirst for right, what are you looking for but equality? I'm seeking equality for all men. So what is my byproduct going to be? Brotherhood. I want equality for all men. So I am blessed when I seek that. I will find brotherhood. Do you see? He said, blessed are the merciful, for they shall be shown mercy. Cause and effect, what I give returns to me. If I am merciful, mercy will come back to me. Okay? You see how in their mind, they hear it at the circumstance of their life. When they possibly forgave a debt, or they possibly saw one of the rich people be kind to a beggar, or they possibly saw something. They hear it at their level. Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. And that's a good man. He was merciful. Good will come to him. But on an energy level, it comes all the way down to what you put out returns to you. Do you see? Truth wrapped in the conditions of their lives. All right. And at one point he says to them, you are the light. He said, you guys are the light. Blessed are you exactly where you are, no matter how oppressed you feel. You are the light. And if you're the light, why would you put it under a basket? I need you shining. If you're the light, you need to shine, and then you will affect the darkness around you. So the metaphoric energy they understood, but the deep energy of what is their energy going to impact was there. Be the light, don't hide. You don't have to go out and wage a war. Be the light. And he's encouraging what within them? The absolute child of God, the God self in them, is being encouraged to rise. The absolute truth of them is being encouraged to rise. Okay. He did a lot of blessed are's. Blessed are those who are maligned and wronged because they do right, because their persecutors they will bless. When someone says something unkind to them, and that happened often, and they were able to hold the frequency of love toward them, do you not think it affected the person who spoke ill of them? When you yell at somebody and they're nice to you, doesn't that affect you? It does. It does. All right. Worthy are the pure in heart, they shall see the King. Right of vibration. And they all probably went, yeah, worthy are the pure in heart. Worthy is the trustful child of faith, he shall sit in the throne of power. These are all energies of, if you hold this in your heart, it will go out and return to you. If you have that sense of love and purity, purity is really being authentic, and it's also wishing no harm to man, to any man, then that will return to you. So, he spoke to them about how good they are in this moment, and every one of them at some level resonated with one of those blessed arts. Do you realize that? Like, I could go through it and metaphysically explain the whole list to you, and every one of you would go, tick me for 1 and 2. I got 5 and 6. You'd all be there several times. You see? So he's blessing them, and then he says, oh, and the woe-tos. A woe-to. And we know woe-to means wake up to. Woe-to the man of greed. For what he has is not his own, and another will come, and his wealth is gone. And don't you think they all said, oh, I've seen that. Absolutely seen that. Woe to the man who takes what is not his own. Because someone's going to take that from him. Because he's doing it, it's going to be done to him. But they could hear that, couldn't they? And energetically, boiling down to a truth, what is yours? Own what is yours. Do you see? It's just a beautiful thing. Woe to. If this is your energy, this is what you are creating. This is what he's telling them. Wake up. If this is your energy, this is what you are creating. So, everybody following pretty well?
Yes.
All right. So, I asked Spirit, I said, if Jesus came to us today, what would he say to us in this room? Ready?
Yeah.
So this is for you guys. Blessed are those that seek God's counsel daily, for they will be advised in every detail. And everybody goes, I have seen that. I've seen that. Woe to you who seek to create what another has in wealth and status. You will never find contentment living another's dream. I've seen that. Blessed are those who return to love, for their kingdom will be filled with joy.
I've seen that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. When people turn to love in the middle of everything, their kingdom will be filled with joy. Woe to you who cannot forgive your mistakes, for as long as you look at it, you live in it. Blessed is the man who is unappreciated in his work, for he will find true value within himself. Oh. Y'all have been there and not blessed that, have you? But blessed is the man who is unfulfilled, who is unappreciated. You will find value in yourself. You're forced to, aren't you? Woe to you who dream of better times but live in fear, for you will languish in the longing. I literally had to look up the word languish. It means become weak, exist in miserable, disheartening conditions. So I'll read it again.
Yes, please.
Woe to you who dream of better times but live in fear, for you will be miserable and disheartened in the longing. I've seen that. Blessed is the man who pauses to breathe, for he fills himself up with the Spirit of God. And what is that really about? And not reacting to life. Not reacting to life. Just breathing. Pause to breathe before you react. One more woe to. Woe to you who build another's kingdom, never realizing you could have your own. So, this was for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you see how these are truths wrapped in the conditions of your life? Of your life. And yet underneath it, you are all powerful. You're God's child, able to do anything. So when Jesus came to present these truths, he presented them in a way that they could understand, but yet would empower the divinity inside them. And you know, there's a big language barrier and a cultural barrier when we talk about the Beatitudes and the woe-tos. But if you break them down energetically, we understand them. We understand them. These are ideas that say, wake up to what you are creating. Be aware that your inner is as valuable as your actions. The pure in heart will see God. The man who loves will be loved. The man who then action shows mercy. The man who is not afraid to shine his light in the world will be blessed. So it is shoring up all of our being in action and inner and action. Okay. Everything, so here's our message, which is their message too. Every situation you find yourself in right now today is leading to your greater truth. Everything is leading to your greater truth. And we can say, blessed is every condition in my life. Blessed is this condition, blessed is that condition, yay. Blessed are all the conditions in my life where they're teaching me something about myself. And this lesson can only come to you wrapped in the conditions of your life. It can only come to you that way. You wouldn't see it any other way. All right. God is absolute and you are creator. You're co-creator with God. Guys, what do we do with this? We're in the same boat. What do we do with this? I don't know what to do with this. As I was praying, I was reminded of two incidences, and you guys have heard my stories before, but it was the moment when I knew. And the first was the fire walk. I did my very first fire walk. I walked across the fire, and I stood there and went, oh my God. I walked the fire. God and I can do anything. I can do anything. I actually wrote that and put it on my refrigerator. I walked the fire, I can do anything with God. On my fridge. I was going through a moment where I needed to get a divorce and I needed to create a new world. And I was living in, what was that? Dreaming better life and languishing because of fear. But it gave me that beautiful energy to change my world. And the second time was several years later. When I had, there was a man, you all have heard my stories, I worked with him for 6 years, and then I went on and worked for someone else, but his personal financials were extremely complicated. He owned a lot of businesses. And so he would always call me in to straighten out what his accountants had done, because I knew what was going on. And I remember I'd say to him, Doug, just hire me. This is what I want you to pay me, just hire me. He goes, no, I'm not going to hire you. Okay. So I'd come in and I'd charge him a nice little fee and get everything ready for his audits. And I took him through a couple IRS audits, and there was not an error found, other than one in his favor that was small. But one day I was helping him. I had my divorce several years later. I was in metaphysics, and I'm manifesting with prayer. He stood in front of me and said, okay, cuss word, I will give you that job you want. I will pay you this amount of money, exactly what you're asking for, and I will hire you. And I went, oh, great. But I walked out, I'm looking at the elevator, Buckhead office, looking at the elevator, and I said, oh my God, I created this. If I created this, God and I can create what I want, what I really want. And that's when the tide turned. And I was on the ministerial path shortly thereafter. But it was when I recognized that I was creating with my thoughts and my energy. Not that I wore him down, I created that moment. It was when God and I are one, God is absolute good, and I created this with God. When I moved to that point of power, my life changed twice. And it's one of those epiphanies where every cell in your body goes, oh. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay. All right. My life changed. So the formula is my light plus the conditions of my life moving through the conditions of my life, brings a huge shift in consciousness. My light, just moving through the conditions of my life, brings a huge shift in consciousness. And when we can feel I am co-creator with God, where does fear go? There's no space. There's no fear in God. There's no space for fear. It's like, what the heck? Let's go. Let's go. All right. I realized I was creator. And so this is a side note I want to share with you because this is also what Cindy did shortly thereafter. I would say to people, Patrick. He came into my world a little bit later, several years later, but I would say to him, I'm creating this, I'm creating this. Wait a minute, you're stopping my creation. Would you stop my get out of my world, you're creating bad in my world. Right? Any partnerships here? Yeah. And then you blame the partner for creating it? Instead of saying, wait. If I am creating, I am allowing this condition to be in my world. Therefore, I need to uncreate whatever is allowing this condition to be in my world. I am never not creative child of God. No matter who I am with, no matter what work condition I am in, no matter where I am, I'm always creative child of God. You guys got that? So, whatever is within us is always participating. So we can always ask if something is happening in our world. I actually created that. I ask now to release it, to forgive it, to do whatever I need to do. So he is not my problem. No one is my problem. I'm learning. I am learning. Powerful child of God. Okay, that was for whoever else needed to hear that.
Thank you.
All right. How much truth can fit into your current life? This is what we need to ask ourselves. How much truth can currently fit in? Can we let go and begin again? Child of God, created God, let everything go and start again, start fresh? Or do we need to take these little bits of truth, bring them into our world and prove them? Well, if Cindy says I'm a creator, well, let me try to do something I think I might be able to do and bring God in. Okay, that's great. Do that if you need to do that. Or, if I want to see if I'm a creator, Cindy said I'm a creator, I'm going to be a creator. I'm going to create something fabulous and outrageous right now. Why not? You can do either. You can do any degree of that. Because you're God's child. And if you believe it, of course you can receive it. That's the law. All right. In every heart, there is good. Every heart is good. God is love, therefore I am love, the song we sang. God is good, I am good. God is peace, I am peace. God is creator, I am creator. Can you feel that in your heart? Just shaking through. So you can actually change everything in your life. We are in a great school where you get what you ask for. And I want you to think of how many times somebody has said to you, what do you want? And you say, whatever. Guess what you get? Whatever. I don't know if I like whatever. You know, you may be wanting to say, I want this specifically, or I think I'll pass this time because I don't know what I want. Because if whatever comes, I got to deal with it. I think I'll pass this time. I'm not sure what I want. I'm good. Let me figure out what I want. Because my life has been full of whatevers. And they take my energy. Okay? You're absolutely in a beautiful school. Pat, would you hand me that box, please? I don't know, well, you're in a beautiful school. This is a school of earth. I had these made. They're just sweet little bookmarks. I had these made from our sweet friend Karen. It's a little bookmark. It says, the path begins in the heart, Inner Quest Church. That's one of those sweet things. You just flap it over the page. I only give it to students. I give this to the students when they're in class. And so, I'm going to pass the box, and if you want to take one as students of the earth, I would invite you to do that, and just pass the box around. Oh.
Thank you.
I want you, as you take it, realize that, and you don't have to take one if you don't feel guided to do so, but I want you to realize, if we look at these experiences as, how can I grow my greater love? How can I be more clear in my desires? How can I walk with God active in my world? And then we look at everything that we go through, as just a trial of evolution, will we beat ourselves up as much? No. And I did my very famous sermon, which I repeat continually to my students, take your C and move on. You do not need an A. You do not need to repeat these classes. Take your C and move on. You know? And as we do that, we grow and we evolve in our own unique pattern, in our own unique way. So, while that goes around, I would like to now read you the energetic meaning of the Beattitudes as listed in Matthew. Would you like to hear those? This is the metaphysical, energetic Beatitudes from Matthew 5. Blessed are the receptive, for they will feel God's presence or hear God's counsel. Blessed are they who are not happy with what is. As they align with God, they will see greater. Blessed are those who don't fight the world. They will come to own the world. I'm going to read that again. Blessed are those who don't fight the world. They will come to own the world. Blessed are those who live as God's child. They will see all as child of God. Blessed are those who forgive. They will be forgiven. Blessed are they who seek clarity and love, for they will find God. Blessed are they who seek to live in harmony with life. They will be living as children of God. Blessed are those who are willing to stand for a new belief. They will create a new world. Shall I read that one again? Blessed are those who are willing to stand for a new belief, for they will create a new world. Stand in your truth. Blessed are you when you shine the light of God and impact the world, for you are increasing the presence of God. When you shine your light, you will impact the world and you increase the presence of God. Now, that is what the people heard. That is the energetic truth underlying all of the blessed hours. Is that not empowering? Yes. And does that not deal with you as child of God? Yes. You are a child of God. Be child of God. Be love. Don't accept what is and don't accept whatever. Shine your light and be love. Okay. For fun, I'm going to read ours again because I've read a lot. Ready? And I want you to just feel your feelings when I read it to you. You guys ready? Okay. Woe to you who seek to create what another has in wealth and status, for you will never find contentment living another's dream. Woe to you who cannot forgive your mistakes, for as long as you look at it, you live in it. Woe to you who dream of better times but live in fear, for you will languish in a longing. Woe to you who build another's kingdom, never realizing you could build your own. Blessed are those that seek God's counsel daily, for you will be advised in every detail. The mind of God will move through every detail. Blessed are those who return to love, for their kingdom will be filled with joy. Just send love. Blessed is the man who is unappreciated in his work, for he will find true value within his life. Yay! And then I'll move to where I love my value. Yay! What a great opportunity. Blessed is the man who pauses to breathe, for he fills himself up with the Spirit of God. Yes, I will not react. I will act. I want you to feel how truth comes to us, wrapped in the conditions of our lives. And I want you to become aware that Jesus' teachings were absolute truth, maybe mystically hidden, but they were there. So it is the truth that we want to take into our souls, not the patterns of a prehistoric religion, but the truths. Does that make sense? All right, let's go with it. And just breathe. Father, Mother God, we open our hearts and we ask to feel your presence now. And I want you all to feel just this collective umbrella of light engulfing us today. And feel the presence of Jesus Christ standing in front of you as a group. Feel the message. You are good. You're God's child. You can do what you need to do. You are empowered. God is there with you. And feel the beautiful love that is pouring into you as a part of this group, this children of God, this group. Feel the beautiful love surrounding us all. And Father, Mother God, we ask that our eyes open and our hearts open so we can be simple love in a beautiful world of harmony. And as you feel those words, simple love in a beautiful world of harmony, feel the energy around you growing stronger and your heart being blessed. We are God's children. Just breathe in. And Father, teach us. Teach us to move through the lessons into perfection. We are always your children. And I would invite you all just to feel the love of Jesus Christ, his support for you. Feel the connected love that we all live in. And feel that beautiful energy of Father, Mother, God. You are in a school of life. And you are ready. So breathe and breathe that love into your physical body, into the space that you occupy. Feel your energy strong, your heart open. Send your love into the room. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Could you feel us connected? That was pretty cool, I think. This beautiful brotherhood. Well, I will leave you with this, because I know you're very inspired to go be creators, are you not?
Yes.
All right. I have come to this is Cindy, the last month or so, as I watch the world around me and question, and I am questioned by people. So I will share with you my dream. It is my great dream and desire to live in a world where everyone shows up with the best they have to offer in any given moment. And sometimes your best will be here, sometimes your best will be here. Depends on what's happening. But if we all show up with our best in any given moment, we are always going to be in harmony. We don't need the hero. We need to rise. So that is my dream, and I see you all at your best. And so it is.